Good morning. It's Sunday at 8 o'clock. Right there on the clock on the wall. And right here behind us. Hey, Blue Beamer. Hey, Blue Beamer. Greetings.
Another day, another damn motorcycle.
Not this one. You're talking about the one at your shop.
That's it.
The BSA?
Yeah.
All right, we'll work on that this afternoon. So we're setting up here to put this ISO in. I thought I'd video the process. Be back in a minute. All right, we're going to install this rear ISO. I got everything laid out. Let's see how smoothly it goes. I have a tool. Kevin should say, of course you have a tool, Frank. And there's the ISO. And what we're going to do is use the tool to pull the ISO into that rear tube. First of all, let me see, my voice, my volume working? Working. Okay, good. First, I'm going to run this brake cone through the tube just to clean it out a little bit. Tell me what comes out over there.
You there?
You there?
Yeah, I'm going to get another quarter inch or something, but I don't worry about.
Well, give me a little CRC. We'll run a rag through here. All right. Just get CRC. Yeah, oh, it's on over there. I left it out. I didn't put it away. All right, let's just clean it out. Hang on for a second. There we go. All right. That's reasonably clean. All right, we'll hold for a minute. All right, we're going to do the insertion of the ISO into the recipient tube. And volume working okay. Let's turn gain up just a little bit. Okay, testing. Don't know how this gain works. Testing. Looks the same no matter what I do. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant in here. In this case, I'm using some Tide that I happen to have out here. Put some lube in there. Put some lube on the front end of this piece of rubber rot here. Maybe a little on the back. What we're going to do is we're going to put the ISO here, put this threaded rod through it, all the way to the other side where we put a recipient. Yeah. Large washer type jobby. And I'll spin this end,
I'll hold this.
which is going to pull that right through. Now, let me wipe off my hands. I'm a little slippery here. Okay. All right, so let's see how this works. Okay, so we got a little bit of pressure right there. Now we have to just go through here and convince the rubber to go in by using a screwdriver to get it started. Gonna put a little more pressure on it. think it's in. All around. Let's give it a little bit more and see if it slides in.
Yep.
Sliding
Stuck.
on.
Yeah, it's kind of stuck right here.
Okay.
A little nudge there.
A little nudge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's right behind there. There you go. That's slide in nicely. And I think down here, just a little. I think we're in all the way around. It feels good.
Looks like it from here. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see how it goes.
Yep.
Now I might be bumping up against that when I get there.
Right.
This part is going to bump up against that.
Yes.
We may have to put a tube over there to clear the nut.
Okay.
And I think we're there now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to... All right, we've got the white spacer in. The rubber here is almost completely in. We're going to try to get it completely in, and then I can adjust it manually. So here we go. Okay, that's as far as we can go with that spacer, right? We're up against the end.
Now the spacer just moved up. No, we got a little.
You sure?
Yeah. No. Well, we got another 1/4 inch. It's just the white
All right. Well,
piece has jumped up.
the heck with it. Nope, we're against something.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we are completely in. Well, it's 11:15, and I don't know what time it was when I made the last video, but at that point in time, we were just putting the gaiters, shall we call it, gaiters on the Isolastics, and I didn't video it because words were used that are not suitable for tender young ears. So we finally got the gaiters on, got the rear ISOs in, got the gaiters on the front, which were actually more difficult than the rear, and got that ISO in. So the Isolastics are now replaced and installed. The engine is only being comforted by the skyhook at this point, just as a safety measure while we fool around in the back with it balanced on the flatbed lift. These were in here to get us another 1/4 inch lift on the frame while we were trying to move the engine around. We finally got the engine moved around so we could get everything installed. And I've got to say, this is probably the sloppiest job I've ever done. Not proud of this work. Finally got it done, but I didn't do good. I've done this before. It's gone smoother. Don't know what the problem was this time. I know for a fact, the last time I balanced the engine, I went back and looked, and I actually picked up a lift point here, which let the engine pivot more on that center point. So I may look into that if and when I ever accept another bike into the shop for Isolastics. I'm not sure that I have the physical wherewithal to do it ever again. Kevin probably has watched all of this and said to himself,
Never again. Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, I truly don't know if the skyhook's an asset or not. You know, the 2 jacks underneath, one for frame,
Yeah.
one for engine, might be the way to go.
But psychologically, it's nice to have that extra support.
Well, that's very reassuring when you have the skyhook up there to protect the bike from basically a disaster if it were to turn sideways and fall. If it were to turn sideways, spin around on the front forks and swing out, I think it could possibly even turn the whole lift over. I'm not sure, but that'd be a worst case scenario. So at this point in time, we're waiting for the client. He's going to come and pick up the horn, take it. That will put us at a stopping point, except for the fact that we can start putting in the battery box, the air cleaner first, then the battery box, and maybe even the Z plates, and call it a day. And we'll see how far we get. So we're just going to lay everything out on the bench right now and see what we can accomplish.